Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say... Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
What can I get you, Sid? How am I getting on? Oh, and it'd be worse than that if Molly here didn't make the best stew this side of Stonehenge, even if it is mostly just yesterday's leavings. Don't tell her you heard that from me, though. That's what we like to hear. Knock 'em back, everyone. Sid's buying. Don't be a stranger, Sid.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again. And again.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion to...
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
Aye, all their fancy silk stain.
Did you see that? How are you doing? Quick look. Always something in there.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Is everything we've received and everything promised? Here you are. Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive, anything catch your eye?
We're not alone.
Caution.
All yours, Torgal.
Mindless though they are, an Akashic horde large enough to besiege the Free Cities is not to be trifled with. We must proceed with caution.
It's over! Russian.
Let's go.
Faster!
Good girl.
Be safe.
Yeah!
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint Gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than Gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. That great love. No. Coin purse weighing you down? It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
What do I owe the honor? What do you want? That it? Fine.
See the pair that got hauled into time?
Is a storm coming soon?
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I have a few new notes that might interest you. What subject shall we consider today? door to the shelves shall ever be open.
Did you see that?
I'm getting too old for this.
You know how I feel about this, but your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
Come on.
Tell us about Rete, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Hey, deal. Where are you off to now, then? Bound for the Free Cities, perhaps? Oh, no need to say if you'd rather not. We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, I could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And Fang went the same way. And don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion. Suppose I could try Camber next. But knowing my luck, the old place be crawling with the works before I'd even sat out me stall. But as I always say, where there's crisis, there's opportunity. The opportunity to be...
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood. Up ahead. It swallowed our camp. My own men... There's a village not far from here. Tabor. It's only a matter... We can't let those...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you.
Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
I got here in time.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here. You seem familiar.
You must have me confused with...
Wait. Son of a whore. You're Cid. I was there, in Cosnis, when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith, when you killed my commander!
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Cid. Someday.
Over here!
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here in Tabor.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Welcome, welcome. Anything else? Take care.
What brings you to our humble village, young man? If it's our...
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloeda Knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us! We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity!
How dare you!
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The King! He has come to save us from the Akashic! He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools! Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guest to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant. Even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike. His very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it. Like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yotei of the lake?
By all means.
Yotei, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yotei.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent whetstone in there, would you, madam?
Opportunity beckons. Is that blade for hire?
Figuratively.
Well, a passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade. That an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Dread Evis are aggressive beasts.
How do you want?
And Dread Evis skin is a rare. Bring me that beast's...
All right.
Of course, leave to... I eagerly await your safe...
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases of...
You! Finally. No one was paying.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word.
The university?
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my study. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead?
Climb the stairs and...
And memorize a few inscriptions for me. Assuming you know your letters, that is. Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stone. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been... namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people.
I can't promise I'll remember...
Remember what you can.
How are those new boots treating you?
That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sort.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Why won't the sky go back? How it was. So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
Not a scratch on them.
Have you noticed the Elder has been coughing less of late?
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
Recent quarry's been hard to find since the sky turned.
It has indeed. Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. The engravings were in good repair,
Oh, what the... Come, don't... let's start with the engraving to the...
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. But, oh, what... the engraving...
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, or...
No doubt you're right. This is proof.
Children of the Hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet.
Clear. George, very well. Do not...
Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you. If there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later.
Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities under siege? There are horrible beasts down that way. Ashen terrors who'll kill you as soon as... Look at you.
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Sanctorum. Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy?
Did you see the pair that got hauled into Tyre?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
This is no time to ride.
The free cities under sea?
Good girl.
Faster!
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them.
To me, Flames!
Joffrey men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
If we're going to do this, we'll need...
Clive, your timing is impeccable. It just so happens that right at this very moment, we're in need of someone with your talents.
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness, and your skill with a blade.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of chaos and confusion. Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers have lost their masters, or taken the opportunity to flee them. None remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist before they get far. But the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges. Which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers remain that way.
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would see them enslaved once more. And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a canyon. The place was abandoned a long time ago, but when the men moved out, the beasts moved in.
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them to look elsewhere. You'll help, won't you?
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and feed, even if I'm...
So I'd better get started. Try to clear... I'll do my best.
You will find a village in Chairdress Thread, past Leitney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right. Wish me luck.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Oh, you're a friend of the Crimson Caravans. And by the look of you, I'd say you were the help they told me was on its way. Cashlock's just down there, if you'd be so kind.
must have been a nice place once.
It will be again.
I think that's the last of them.
I think you're right. Let's head back to Boklad.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
You know what you have to do.
I won't let you down.
Clive, I fear that I must bid you farewell. As you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. We must strike now. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust you, as I trusted your predecessor.
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment, and I understand more than anyone how you feel. But is revenge really the answer?
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for since that day.
But what of Lostwing? Everything you've built.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have served its purpose. My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the... But there are those among us who cannot fight. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay a safe haven for long. And so, Clive, I find... Will you take them to your hideaway? That they might live, even should Lost...
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the well-being of those who rallied. The people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case the Black Shields...
Understood. I'll make sure they get to the hideaways.
Then the last of my preparations are complete. And may Griga guide us.
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's bales.
Everyone, Quinton has asked that you come with me. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can. There's a safe place I can take you to.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Cid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for Master Quinton. We owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what he should do with his. If he's saying we ain't safe in Lostwing no more, it's 'cause he ain't coming back. And if that's what has to happen, then so be it. That we get to see justice done.
I hope so too.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't already left, have they?
They've gone with Master Quinton.
Fuck.
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. We have to get Quinton to call off the attack. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They don't stand a chance against that thing. They're all gonna fucking die.
Cid! Don't worry about us. You've got to catch up with... We can't let Quinton die before that...
All right. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east, through the woods. Heavenhall, he calls it.
Promise us, Cid. Promise us you'll do what you can.
Clive, look.
No. Don't tell me we're too late. Quinton, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quinton. I'll hold it off. You go.
But...
your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then.
That is no more guard dog.
No. Just a rabid beast that needs to be put down. If only we'd arrived earlier. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear. Just as I dreamed of doing all these years. All my plans. Building a haven in Lostwing. Freeing bearers from their chains and recruiting them to my cause. It was all for this. But what is this? Justice? My faithful comrades. All those lives lost. So that I might take another.
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh, thank Grieger you're safe.
You? You're alive?
And so are you. I'm so sorry. I tried to warn you about that thing. And I hate to say it, but there's more bad news. It's Lostwing.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool!
Damn it.
Quentin's not going to last long in there. Can we finish this quickly?
I need to find Quentin.
Quentin! Quentin! Look at me!
Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quinton. Save your strength.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you, and we all know it.
I thought you weren't coming back. But I prayed, and you did. There's got to be a reason for that, right? Can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master Quinton. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, but it seems your people aren't, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? After what why would anyone follow me?
'Cause we're family, aren't we?
Family?
Yeah, and all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build towns. A nation, even. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quinton we know.
Please. I am nobody's master. Quinton will suffice. After all, we are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my people.
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf. You saved my life twice over. And more besides.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. Nothing but the best. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet. If you don't mind waiting, that is.
I look forward to it.
Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bearers to think of. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, but there's only so many we can shelter with the... We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is... And that's what I was hoping you might help me with.
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy. What? And if any of us could have done anything, but what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be left in...
I suppose you're...
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. And they don't seem like they'll be moving. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raids. Would have sent someone to clear them out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full, fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more Guardians of the Flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move.
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have...
And I know the men. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back. And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too.
Of course.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. So, Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rosfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places.
As can I, which is why I agreed.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most with you beside us. We shall suit.
So?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last, and rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely still be crawling with Akashic. A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic. Make sure I'm not taken.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself.
The Akashic are the bigger risk.
Well, I shall summon my men at...
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go...
All right.
We shall see you there.
Or face the consequences. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. All yours, Torgal. more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching? I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashyyyk.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away. Before any other unsavory...
Of course. Leave it with me.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them. And not a single Akashak in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but...
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more...
And we will, my lord.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but there's the way I see it. Neither if it's food or lumber or strong backs.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you.
I wanted to. Something the matter, Theodore?
Quiet. Those are our terms. I trust that you will give them your full consideration.
I shall.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes, but enough about him.
It's done.
You made quick work of...
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, don't tell her I was watching her. She'll only get upset. I'll explain everything once you've...
All right. Eloise, I just got back from Cashlock. The village should be safe now.
Thank you, Clive. Here. Well then, Now that you have laid the groundwork, I suppose we'd better finish. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer for the bearers is accepted.
You're still in negotiation?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have been trickier than we... I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with, but we shall emerge victorious.
Well, if you need any help.
I'm not sure I do.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one. He represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's...
I don't think I've heard of them.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has. They operate across the length and breadth of the and they're still expanding. They've been trying to get Eloise to join their ranks for some time, and judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had...
And you'd rather she...
I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. And we have striven to save others like me ever. But this was not the life my sister wanted, nor the one she deserves. I won't let her give up on her dreams again for my... She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister... And I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own life. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it down.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, these bearers aren't going to... That's a job for...
See the pair that got hauled into Tyre?
My Lord Marquis, that some of my fellow Guardians are to build a new home there.
It's true.
I have many fond memories of Eastpool. When I was a child, we would visit my aunt and uncle often. They would lavish attention upon me as if I were the son they never had. I went to see Aunt Hannah after my uncle passed away, but...
Oscar, I'd like you to assist Sir Wade in the rebuilding efforts.
But, my lord, my training is not yet complete. I
warned you I might not be the easiest of masters, but I'm not as hard-hearted as that. Rebuild her home is what she would have wanted.
Yes, my lord. Thank you.
Round and round the city clock, the wyvern chased the eagle. The birdie stopped to catch his breath. Down came the eagle.
Is there out you need? There's no... Your lad's worth... and I've never looked... You take care now.
Welcome back, Sid.
Well, someone's in it.
Drink up, you lot. The next round's on Sid.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you?
It seems the hideaway has lost its...
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Knowledge hoarded is... What subject shall we consider today? The door to the shelves shall... ever be open.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Mididol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in the city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things. They've been routed. They're wearing Waluda armor. What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here. Yeah! leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside. Where are they? These creatures. Does Ultima's reach extend this far? What the hell is going on here?
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt. And now you're here. With an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once rock city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Saintlian of House Harvard, and you will yield. Or not. As long as you don't hold back.
Now for it. Too slow.
You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes!
Too slow. Let's try.
I wouldn't. Fine hound.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Try it.
All the rest.
Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Will you be all right?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we were up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me, your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gil into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You got mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Cid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the Royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. The Einherjar wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But you have an idea.
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself. Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Still alive, are you? Go on, then. You'll not find a better price than that. You're rubbing me blind, you know. You'll not find a better price than that. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Trouble with your gear, or so will it be? Should last you a good while. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later. Yeah, that should do you. My best work, but it'll do. And?
Those imps are going to break that thing.
Let me help. I know my letters. Most...
Good morrow to you, my friend. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before.
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. You are always welcome, Clive.
Cole said it was an army of Akashi.
Clive. How may I help you today? Here you are. Thus ends today's lesson.
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
I know this is your hideaway, but you really shouldn't be in here.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Alembics gonna help us make.
I remember seeing this doll in Sid Solar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Well, did you find anything?
Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
How are we supposed to do our duty in the hills?
Who's that?
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope. Nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Who's a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Speaking of which...
Worried about him?
Afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but... I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl. And try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around...
I'd speak to him again. Well...
Cheers, Clive. All right?
She can't. Glory to Griga.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival... I've tried offering to see Clive. She hasn't left the... Will you talk to her?
I know better than to order Taya to do anything. But I'll speak to her.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. We all admire...
I will. When it's... Until then, we owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone it won't be much longer. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the...
How would tears help this?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia. It's the only thing strong...
You wouldn't, Taya. Surely. There must be something...
Sometimes an easy day... You do well to remember that, Rodriguez.
We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can...
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other...
Thank you, Clive.
Master Cid.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone.
Miss Shirley, how can we learn to be clever?
Cid! Heard you were in Canberra fetching young men.
He's a surly soaker.
Do you have a name, doggy? I'd call you Torgal, but that one's already taken.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Oh, ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe, and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work. Because the Cursebreakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride. And focus all your energies on the task at hand, keeping the Cursebreakers armed. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you...
What'd you say, Blackthorn? It's not like you'll be
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is, then?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabe, just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, and I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold.
Good luck with that.
He's a surly soaker.
Cid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back?
Vaguely.
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root. I fear the soil here does not agree. However,
I can't...
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know. But Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, The appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower. The endeavor, I assure you, is...
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently...
Our time...
Well, I shan't keep you any longer, I know.
Sid! Heard you were in Canberra fetching young men. Miss Shirley, how can we learn...
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone,